Coach, Lamar's goal there in the 85th was the first open play goal in more than 400 minutes. How much need was that for this club right now, and what have you seen lately in the final third?
Well, it was much needed because it salvaged a point. Your second half of your question is the interesting one. We've got to figure out a way how to, be a little bit more goal dangerous, have that last little bit of quality in the final third, maybe even a little more patience. I think sometimes we get rushed. I mean, we're always rushing to try and score right away when, a little bit of patient build-up, side to side, makes the gaps a little bit bigger. We did discuss that in training this week, and certainly watching film on LA, getting the ball from the left side and getting Kelvin involved on the right. And I think we just need to have that little bit more patience in that final third.
Jeff?
It got to be a really physical, chippy game towards the end. I mean, how much does that make it more difficult for your guys to be patient and to try to keep their cool?
Well, the game in the second half, Jeff, definitely favored LA, not just because they were 1-0 up, but because, the fouls that were called, and then, the opponent who's up 1-0 away from home absolutely takes their time on every single stoppage of play. It never allows your team to get into any sort of rhythm. So that's just part of the game. We have to do a better job of staying composed, and I know the guys are out there fighting. If I'm looking at the stats again, they won 58% of their duels. So the team's trying to get something out of the game, and sometimes those fouls happen, sometimes they're soft fouls, but it certainly upsets the rhythm of the game.
Boss.
Yeah. What did you see on the foul on Torres? Did you ever take a look at that, or I know you can't comment on officiating, but
well, my personal opinion, after seeing it on replay, is that Chad Marshall was even almost half a yard behind Roman when the actual foul took place. I think Jermaine was slowing down. That was a long run for him. He got through cleanly, but you saw Roman really catch up over the last 3-4 yards, and Marshall could have made the play as well, because Roman had cut him off, and if he would have cut back to his right foot, Chad was right there. So there were two defenders in the vicinity. So again, in my opinion, it wasn't a red card.
Felipe, you still have one?
Yeah. So continuing with the question, it's hard to talk about referees, but what do you think about the new technology? It hasn't been used once in CenturyLink.
Maybe because the game hasn't demanded it. I know that red card incident was being reviewed. That's the procedure, and obviously the referee upstairs and the referee on the field didn't see it the way I saw it. So the technology was in use. It just, again, sometimes this game is subjective, and the referee made the decision that he felt was correct.
Matt.
What was your instructions for O'Neal Fisher, and how do you think he played since not playing since June?
Good. He played very well. His job was to lock down Alessandrini. Now I know he got the assist, but that I'm not pinning that goal on Fish. He did very well. I think he bottled up Alessandrini for long periods of the game. Alessandrini was getting frustrated. You could tell his frustration levels was high at times, so he did his job.
Mark?
Brian, what can you tell us about Jordan Morris? What do you know about that?
He's got a strained hamstring, so we'll take a look at it. There's nothing we can do about it tonight. We'll assess him in the morning. Obviously, he's got pretty good care, so he'll be fine.
Jeff, still have one?
Yeah, what did you make of the effort by Torres on that pass that he made to Nagel? It looked like the ball was going to go out of bounds at that point.
he managed
Well,
to go in his direction.
Roman is captain of Panama. He's had a good career for a reason. You know, he always plays the game with a lot of enthusiasm. You guys saw some of the, you know, character he possesses in some of the videos that we had last year. And you watch him as he's on the field, he always gives it his all. So it was just another sense of one of the Seattle Sounder players trying to make a play and make a difference. But, you know, it was Roman on that particular play, but, you know, there were a lot of other guys that were trying to make plays to try and get the game to go in our favor. I thought the whole effort of the entire team, I didn't complain when I spoke to them. I didn't complain about their effort. You know, we just need to get that final third, a little bit of quality, that little bit of, you know, better play out of it.
Nico?
It seems like the past two games, teams have tried to attack you on your left side. Could you talk a little bit about that in regards to today, Victor and Fisher on that side?
I thought Victor did his job as well. To Matt's question, we told Victor to double team Alessandrini whenever he was lining up to take Fish on 1v1. So I thought Victor did a good job. I thought his defensive performance was, you know, as good as his attacking performance. You saw he's a talented player, and getting used to this league, the physicality, getting up and down, and you know, doing some of that dirty work. I thought he did well.
Matt?
It seemed like a very emotionally charged second half. How do you think that your team, or I guess both teams, dealt with that part of the game?
Well, these games are all getting towards playoff intensity because, you know, there's 6 games left. I certainly know that Zig had his team ready to go. I know our team was ready to go. Yeah, the previous question, the game got a little chippy. It was a little, you know, maybe we could have had a little bit more composure. But again, I like the fight of the team. I think the fight of that team is what has now gotten us to 12 wins, 12 games without a loss. You know, there's a lot of positives you can take, you know, out of the game, and there's certainly some negatives. We have to be realistic. We have to be realistic that we need to keep our composure in these types of games. Can't control the refereeing. You know, it's out of our control. So we have to make sure that we're concentrating and focused at all times to make sure we can, you know, play well and start winning some games.